How did a Nickelodeon cartoon about kids controlling the elements become one of the highest rated TV shows of all time, even rivaling classics like Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones? Let's dive into the untold story of Avatar The Last Airbender. Avatar The Last Airbender is more than just a children's cartoon. It is a cultural phenomenon that changed the way we look at animated storytelling. Premiering in 2005, this Nickelodeon series was unlike anything on television at the time. It blended epic world building, deep character arcs, and cinematic animation to create something that appealed to kids, teenagers, and adults alike. Today, it stands with a rating above 9 out of 10, which places it among the highest rated shows ever, animated or otherwise. But how did a show aimed at children earn a place next to legendary live-action dramas? In this video, we will explore the full story of Avatar's rise. We will look at its origins, its groundbreaking storytelling, its unforgettable characters, and the cultural impact that made it one of the most beloved and respected series of all time. The idea for Avatar began with creators Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, two animators who had worked at Nickelodeon in the early 2000s. At the time, Nickelodeon was home to fun but largely episodic shows like SpongeBob, SquarePants, and Fairly Odd Parents. DiMartino and Konietzko wanted something different. They wanted to create an epic animated story that had a beginning, a middle, and an end. They pitched a series about a young boy who could control all four elements, set in a world inspired by Asian culture, martial arts, and spirituality. Nickelodeon executives were skeptical at first. A serialized, serious story for kids was a huge risk, but after seeing the early concept art and world design, the network gave the green light. And in February 2005, Avatar The Last Airbender premiered to critical acclaim. From the start, Avatar was unique. Its world felt like a living, breathing place with its own cultures, languages, and histories. Each nation was modeled after real-world influences, such as the Inuit-inspired water tribes or the Chinese-influenced Earth Kingdom. This level of detail gave the series a sense of authenticity and depth that most animated shows lacked. One of the biggest reasons Avatar became a hit is because of its characters. The main cast, Aang, Katara, Sokka, Toph, and Zuko, are not just cartoon heroes. They are fully realized characters with flaws, fears, and emotional journeys. Aang, the last airbender and the Avatar, is not your typical chosen one. He is a 12-year-old boy who never wanted the responsibility of saving the world. Throughout the series, we see him struggle with the weight of his role and the pacifist beliefs of the air nomads, which conflict with the violent reality of war. Katara is not just the caring motherly figure of the group. She is a young girl dealing with grief over the loss of her mother, and her journey explores anger, forgiveness, and the fight for justice. Sokka starts as comic relief, but over time, he becomes one of the most important strategists in the fight against the Fire Nation. His character growth, from a sarcastic jokester to a brilliant leader, made him a fan favorite. Then there is Zuko, the Prince of the Fire Nation, whose redemption arc is widely considered one of the best in TV history. Zuko's journey from a banished, bitter antagonist to a loyal ally of the Avatar is one of the most compelling storylines ever written for television. Unlike many children's cartoons, Avatar did not shy away from mature themes. It dealt with war, imperialism, genocide, and the moral cost of power. The 100-Year War is the backdrop of the entire series, and while it is a fictional conflict, the show treats it with a sense of gravity and realism. The series also explored personal themes such as identity, destiny, and forgiveness. For example, Aang struggles with his duty as the Avatar versus his personal desires, while Zuko's arc is a deep exploration of honor and redemption. These storylines are layered, offering something for both children and adults. The structure of Avatar is also groundbreaking. Rather than being purely episodic, the series tells one continuous story across 3 books: Water, Earth, and Fire. Each book has its own tone, central conflicts, and character arcs, but all contribute to the larger narrative. This was rare for animated series at the time, and it gave the story a cinematic quality. One of the defining features of Avatar is its unique magic system, bending. Each bending style, water, earth, fire, and air, is based on real-world martial arts. Waterbending movements are inspired by Tai Chi, earthbending by Hungar, firebending by Northern Shaolin, and airbending by Bagua. This realistic approach to combat gave every fight scene a grounded, physical feel. The animators worked with martial arts consultants to ensure that every movement looked authentic. As a result, the action sequences in Avatar remain some of the most beautifully choreographed in animation history. Who can forget battles like Zuko versus Azula's Agni Kai in the series finale? The fluidity, tension, and emotional weight of that fight rival anything you might see in live-action shows. Visually, Avatar was years ahead of its time. The animation blended anime-inspired character designs with Western techniques, creating a style that felt fresh and unique. The backgrounds were hand-painted, often inspired by traditional Asian art, which gave each scene a sense of beauty and atmosphere. The series also had a cinematic approach to storytelling. Camera angles, lighting, and even the pacing of episodes were designed to feel like a film. This gave Avatar a level of polish and sophistication that was rare in children's television. The soundtrack of Avatar, composed by Jeremy Zuckerman and Benjamin Wynn, is one of its unsung heroes. The music blends traditional Asian instruments like the erhu and pipa with Western orchestral arrangements. Some tracks, like Leaves from the Vine from the Tales of Ba Sing Se episode, are so emotionally powerful that they have brought fans to tears years after the show ended. The music not only enhances the story, but also deepens the emotional connection to the characters and the world. During its original run, Avatar was a critical darling. It won a Peabody Award, which is a rare honor for an animated series, along with multiple Annie Awards and a Primetime Emmy. Critics praised its writing, animation, and ability to tell mature stories without losing its heart. But Avatar's reputation has only grown with time. When it was added to Netflix in 2020, it became one of the most watched shows on the platform, topping charts worldwide. A new generation discovered it, and longtime fans revisited it with fresh eyes. So why is Avatar considered one of the highest rated shows ever? It is because it never underestimated its audience. It respected the intelligence of kids while offering layers of depth for older viewers. It told a story about war and peace, about personal growth and forgiveness, about love and sacrifice, all while being entertaining and visually stunning. In a world where many cartoons rely on humor and repetitive plots, Avatar dared to be epic. It was a story with an endgame, and that sense of purpose gave the finale emotional weight. When Aang finally defeats Fire Lord Ozai without sacrificing his values, it is not just a victory for the character, but for the themes of the show itself. Avatar paved the way for more ambitious animated projects. Shows like The Legend of Korra, Dragon Prince, and even live-action series have drawn inspiration from its storytelling. The series continues to inspire creators across the world, from animators to writers to filmmakers. With Avatar Studios now working on new films and spin-offs, the franchise is only growing. But no matter how many new stories are told, the original series remains untouchable in its quality and influence. Avatar The Last Airbender began as a risky Nickelodeon project, but became a masterpiece that broke every rule of what a children's cartoon could be. With its rich world, complex characters, and emotionally resonant storytelling, it earned a place among the greatest TV shows ever made. If you have not watched Avatar yet, you are missing not just a great cartoon, but one of the finest examples of storytelling in any medium. And that is why, nearly 2 decades later, Avatar The Last Airbender remains as powerful and timeless as the day it first aired.